Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to VGC Worlds 2016. I decided to keep featuring Porygon-Z. I think it was a really interesting week despite all my bad performances, I guess, because I did misplay a ton. So I decided to keep giving this team a chance. It also puts a little less pressure on me to make sure I have new legends every week, so that's definitely nice. And I feel like Porygon-Z was enough of a good entertainment for people to like it. Now, we are up. Let me take a picture of my opponent's team really quickly. He has 3 Pokemon weak to Fairy in Salamence, Liepard, and Yveltal. I do have the double Primal, which is really good against his team, but the Yveltal is really scary. So, how do I deal effectively with Yveltal? I think Mawile is a really good Pokemon to lead off with. And I think I do want Trick Room. Or I might want Tailwind actually. Let's see, my Groudon can't really touch the Yveltal, but I think having Talonflame and Kyogre in the back would be really good. He does have double Intimidate though. So I'm gonna lead Porygon-Z and Mawile so that I can start Hyper Beaming things. And, well actually, yeah, and then I want Kyogre in the back, and I want Talonflame in the back. I think that's my best play. Have to make sure I don't get trapped in the sun. That's what I really need to make sure. And yeah, Groudon did well against his Mawile and maybe his Groudon, but it wasn't really enough to justify bringing it, because it could only Fire Punch Cresselia, it could only Fire Punch Salamence, could only Fire Punch Yveltal, and it is a Liepard Yveltal lead. So I do get to Intimidate, which might be useful later on. The big issue here is the Fake Out, but you would expect the Fake Out to go towards Mawile, so that's why I'm not gonna protect. I'm going to play rough the Yveltal, and what I'm actually going to do, I mean, a Snarl is probably coming right now, so I could set up a Trick Room actually. I could set up a Trick Room and then switch out my Porygon-Z. Okay, he actually withdraws, so probably Groudon coming in. Yeah, Groudon comes in, so good play for my opponent. That means the Fake Out is probably now going towards Porygon-Z, but I don't mind that too much, because I can still Hyper Beam the Groudon, and after the residual damage from Play Rough, it should be enough to get a KO here. Maybe my opponent's Yveltal is physical as well, and that's why the Intimidate made him switch out. Wow, he actually goes for a Thunder Wave, so no Fake Outs. And now my Trick Room will look like a really smart play. Unless I get fully paralyzed, which I don't. Okay, so I get 5 turns of Trick Room. And my opponent's Groudon is in right now. So what I can do, expecting the Encore, is he Encores and uses what? Precipice Blades, right? Because my Kyogre is a threat. So I'm going to Sucker Punch the Groudon, and I'm going to switch out for Talonflame so that my Trick Room is not reversed by my own Porygon-Z. And the fact that I'm paralyzed, if I don't get fully paralyzed, should actually help me out. My Sucker Punch does a ton of damage, and he does go for the Precipice Blades. Okay, so he will most likely be able to KO Mawile right now, but with Trick Room and Porygon-Z paralyzed, as long as I don't get paralyzed on a really key turn, I think I should be okay here. Especially because I can bring in my Kyogre, and we know he has Yveltal in the back. His Groudon is pretty damaged, and most likely in range of my Brave Bird, Adamant, Max Attack, Life Orb, Talonflame, I would imagine. So, my opponent can definitely Thunder Wave right now. That would, I would assume, be his best play. So, what I'm actually going to do is, I'm going to Origin Pulse, and I'm going to Quick Guard, because it will protect me from possible swaggers. It will protect... Groudon is definitely switching out right now, but it will protect me from possible swagger shenanigans. It will protect me from Thunder Waves. And yeah, my opponent actually decides to protect the Groudon, stalling out a turn of Trick Room, which is fairly okay. He does go for the Thunder Wave, which I do get protected from, and my Origin Pulse thankfully does connect with Liepard. Now, we do bring it to its Focus Sash, but there's no need for me to Quick Guard, once again, because my Talonflame is definitely slower. So, I can safely Brave Bird that slot and be perfectly okay here. Okay, he does withdraw Groudon, which makes sense. And brings in Cresselia, but my Brave Bird goes before any Thunder Wave or anything because of how the priority is reversed. It's only one turn of Trick Room left now, but this single target Origin Pulse, if it does connect, will do a ton of damage to that Cresselia. And with Brave Bird, we should have Groudon almost checked. It is actually a Citrus Berry Cresselia, so he can definitely KO me right now. He might bring Groudon in, yep he does, but that's fine by me. I mean, he can protect right now. I still have a turn to be faster than him, but question is it worth bringing in Porygon-Z right now? Because Cresselia can't really damage me. He could set up Gravity, definitely could set up Gravity, but I need to conserve Kyogre healthy, or do I? I'm really tempted. I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to protect. No. Yeah. Going to protect, and I'm going to set up a Tailwind, because he will definitely protect his Groudon here. Yep, there's a protect. Perfect. So, Trick Room will end, and I will get 4 turns of Tailwind now, to still be faster than my opponent. There's my Tailwind, and I have no idea what this Cresselia is going to want to do. Maybe Gravity? No, he goes for Skill Swap. Takes away my Brave Bird. Perfectly fine by me, really. No issue there at all. With the Tailwind, I will be faster. I will still be faster than that Groudon. And now, what I can do is double target the Groudon slot, because... well, the question is, do I Flare Blitz? No, I don't Flare Blitz. I just double target the Groudon. The double target should be enough to KO. And Trick Room did end, right? I didn't pay attention, but I am counting the turns right here in my trusty notebook, so that should be enough. If he switches out Groudon and maybe sets up a Trick Room, that would most likely be my opponent's best play. But the Focus Sash on Porygon-Z really helps me out, and I also am paralyzed, so I will be faster than every single Pokemon. He tries for a Double Protect, but doesn't get it. So my Brave Bird, even without the Gale Wings, will go first, thanks to a Tailwind, and it wasn't enough, so I'm really glad I double targeted that slot. And Cresselia most likely sets up Trick Room here, but we get rid of the Groudon, which is obviously always great. And we should see a Trick Room here, yeah, Trick Room, okay. So there's now 5 new turns of Trick Room, So it is in my best interest to stall out my own Tailwind now. But Cresselia is not really a threat. My opponent can definitely go for Snarls, but Talonflame is not at too big of a risk, and Kyogre will not be KO'd. So what I'm actually going to do, since Cresselia is not really a threat, I'm going to, well, yeah, I have to go on the offensive right now. I could protect my Kyogre. I could definitely protect my Kyogre. But is it worth it? Yeah, I think it is. No, it's not worth it. I should go on the offensive. I'm gonna go for an Ice Beam, and I'm going to go for the Flare Blitz, just because Flare Blitz does have a chance to one-hit KO, or rather not one-hit KO, to burn, sorry. So, Cresselia goes for an Ice Beam on Kyogre. Yveltal goes for a knockoff, and actually KOs my Talonflame, which is okay. And we see a Life Orb. Okay. So now it comes down to, he does survive the Ice Beam. I can protect Kyogre, and I can Hyper Beam here, because after this Tailwind turn ends, I will be slower than that Yveltal. So I'm going to protect Kyogre, and I'm going to Hyper Beam the Yveltal, simply because Cresselia is not an offensive threat. He goes for a Helping Hand, so, but even if he targeted Porygon-Z, okay, he went for a Foul Play, that's fine. Now both of my Pokemon will be slower, 100% sure. So all I have to do is double target the Yveltal, and that should be game, because I will be slower. He goes for another Helping Hand. His best attack now is Sucker Punch, but even a Sucker Punch should not be able to KO my Kyogre. Well, never mind. Can you not get paralyzed, Porygon? Okay, I don't get paralyzed, thankfully. So, now... if I had not gotten paralyzed last turn. Now it comes down to my paralyzed Porygon-Z, which has to recharge against his Ice Beaming Cresselia. I don't know if a single Hyper Beam can one-hit KO Cresselia. He goes for a Skill Swap, removing my adaptability and giving me Gale Wings. Pretty weird there. And Trick Room ends. So now he will be faster. Oh boy. I need... He's going to Ice Beam, then I hit my Hyper Beam, then I recharge. So I need to survive 4 Ice Beams, or for Hyper Beam to KO. Or I can go for Uproar. Let me just check. How much damage does Uproar do? 90 plus tap, that's 135. And yeah, 2 Uproars do more than 2 Hyper Beams. So continuous Uproar is definitely my play. Hoping I don't get paralyzed anymore. That would be absolutely fantastic. But looks like Porygon-Z can easily survive 4 Ice Beams. It really looks like I can survive the 4 Ice Beams without an issue. It did 40 damage, so it will actually be damage rolls. This is a really close end to the match. No! Okay, I get fully paralyzed, but I calm down. That means if I don't get fully paralyzed right now and my Hyper Beam connects, then I win. Can you please? Wow, that was a critical hit. Oh. Wow. That was really intense, yeah. Whew. I got paralyzed twice out of 5 turns, which is definitely higher odds than you would expect. But we managed to pull through. I really didn't think that Sucker Punch was going to KO. And expecting the Sucker Punch, I probably should have gone for another Protect. But wow, that was really intense. That was seriously very, very intense. Let's go find our next battle. I'm really glad I got to record that battle. And I'm really glad I got to win. I mean, towards the end that, it would have been really close. The crit made it so that it was not going to be a damage roll anymore. And I believe the first Ice Beam did 40 damage, and then the second one did 41. So he could have definitely... That could have been minimum damage, but it could also have been close to maximum. I genuinely have no idea. So yeah, let's hope this next battle is as good as the previous one. And I mean, I don't say it's good because I won. It was definitely a very interesting battle. Out of the ordinary Pokemon, and Porygon-Z pulled its weight. It first set up the Trick Room, and then it pulled through Paralysis and got a KO on an Yveltal with a Hyper Beam, and then got a KO on a Cresselia, which stole my Adaptability. Now, looks like not many people are playing right now. It's taking a long time to find an opposing trainer. Might have to search for one again, because it's really taking its time. But yeah, I know a lot of you guys come from the subreddit Stunfist, so thank you all so much for your support, and everybody else who watches the videos. Thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate it. At this point we might be over 2,700 subscribers, so I mean, it can be overwhelming at times to see so many subscribers. I really appreciate your guys' support. And now we are up against a Japanese player with a double Primal team that I really dislike. I really dislike this team, because everything is a threat to me. Literally everything is a threat. Mega Kangaskhan though, I think is the most threatening. And so is Liepard. Why is Liepard such a big threat? Okay, I'm gonna lead Mawile. I kind of want to lead Talonflame, but I'm not sure. I think Mawile Groudon is my best lead here. Actually, does Cresselia have Gravity or does it have Skill Swap? I do have Gravity. So maybe Cresselia Groudon. I think Porygon-Z might be really important in this match, because those Hyper Beams will really hurt. And now the question is, do I want Kyogre? Yeah, I think I do want Kyogre. I think I might regret not bringing Talonflame. I really think I might regret that. Definitely not sure about how to go about this. Double Primal teams, I think are really hard to play with and against. At least for me. Just can't get used to all the weather control. I feel like I misplay so much. And my opponent does lead Liepard and Thundurus. So that's not a terrible lead for me, because you could expect something like Fake Tears, Foul Play, or Swagger. So maybe Talonflame was the right play. Either it's Foul Play, Swagger onto Groudon, or the other attack. How do you call it? Fake Tears, Thunderbolt into Mega Mawile. So because of that, I really feel like going for a play rough onto the Thundurus is the best bet. I think Groudon is the bigger threat to my opponent, but I really don't want to leave myself open. No, I'm still gonna go for the Protect on Groudon. I really hope he goes for a Swagger Foul Play right now onto Groudon. It's really a coin toss. It's really a coin toss. Oh boy, here we go. That lead is really scary. Swagger, perfect. Swagger Foul Play, perfect. Please connect. Yes, please connect. And yes, one hit KO. Wow, that was a critical hit. That probably mattered. That most likely mattered so much. I cannot begin to describe it. Okay, so my opponent does bring in Kyogre, which I believe my Mawile easy V'd to survive a max special attack water spout, but he might fake Tears the Mawile. I mean, my Groudon switching is really obvious. He's not going to Encore me. So I guess my best play is to Sucker Punch the Kyogre. And oh boy. I guess I switch out Groudon. I mean, Swagger. I hate Swagger. This is a really obvious play, but I feel like it's the safest play. I think I got a lot of advantage by KOing that Thundurus, but I still think my opponent has a lot of momentum because I have really slow Pokemon and I have no form of speed control besides Trick Room for Porygon-Z, but I cannot bring in Porygon-Z. Okay, my opponent actually goes for a Thunder Wave onto the Groudon slot, so that's not ideal. I do get to Sucker Punch the Kyogre though, which does a ton of damage, almost 50%, making this Water Spout super weak. Yeah, he doesn't take out Mawile and doesn't even take out or do any significant damage to Kyogre. Now, the problem here is the Swagger plus Thunder Wave shenanigans. I think that's going to be a really big issue. I'm gonna go for another Sucker Punch. And I kind of want to go Origin Pulse, but I feel like I'm not even going to be able to pull through. What has my opponent shown so far? Foul Play and Thunder Wave. He definitely has Fake Out, so what are the odds that he has Encore? Huh. So... or... I can... no, Sucker Punch and Protect. Oh, please. Please tell me it went through. Okay, my opponent switches out Kyogre. So the Swagger is definitely going to my own Kyogre, and he brings in Groudon. Okay, expecting the Origin Pulse. Oh boy, this is a really complicated game. I was so close to bringing in my own Groudon. I definitely thought that. So hopefully my play rough connects at least though. He goes for a Thunder Wave onto Mawile. So he's Thunder Waving everything. No Swagger and no Protect. But wait. Wow. So that was definitely not what I intended. Okay, Mawile has definitely done its job here. Going to Sucker Punch the Groudon once again. And... I don't know. Does Kyogre have a role to play right now? I think Kyogre's best bet is to Ice Beam to try and bring that Liepard to its Focus Sash. I do get some last minute damage with Sucker Punch that doesn't really do anything. And my opponent did go for a Foul Play, so yeah, if Precipice Blades connect, I'm not gonna survive that. I was definitely not gonna survive that. Ugh. My previous turn was absolutely terrible, I think. That Liepard is such a big threat. But my Porygon-Z is faster. I know that. My Porygon-Z is faster than his Groudon, no matter what speed he's at. So, the problem is the Kyogre in the back now. But Kyogre is damaged, actually. So, it will most likely come down to Swagger stuff. My opponent could definitely Thunder Wave and Protect. He could Thunder Wave and Protect. That would be his safest play, I guess. But I still have to go for this. Ah, he did. Or did he go for the foul play? Yeah, he went for the foul play, okay. That doesn't do 50%. I get to Hyper Beam. And my Precipice Blades does connect. So, his Groudon will most likely be faster than my Groudon. If, for some reason, he switches out Groudon into Kyogre, it will come down to who has the faster Primal. And because he has so much speed control, yeah, I think my best play is still to Hyper Beam that slot and hope Precipice Blades connects on both. Yeah, my opponent doesn't switch out. Okay, so please don't get fully paralyzed. No! Oh, but Groudon avoids. No. I mean, I still think we would have lost. I definitely still think we would have lost. Oh, but that avoid was so heartbreaking. The game gave me so much hope, and then it took it all away, all in one turn. Okay, so if for some reason my opponent doesn't target Porygon-Z, I'm going to try to set up a Trick Room. That's my best play, to hope maybe Origin Pulse and Precipice Blades misses. Nope. That miss. My Porygon-Z's Focus Sash would have been intact. Origin Pulse. So, can my opponent miss both attacks? Can you please miss both? Can I get lucky once again? Nope. Oh man. Yeah, I still think we would have lost because I would have KO'd with Hyper Beam and KO'd with Precipice Blades, but Porygon-Z would have had to recharge. I would have protected my Groudon to prevent the damage from Origin Pulse. Then if he connected with Porygon-Z, would have brought it down to Focus Sash, and then I don't think my Groudon would have been faster. It would have come down to if my Groudon was faster than his Kyogre, and if I could have connected the Precipice Blades. It really would have come down to that. So, not much you can do there. The game didn't allow us to get to that possibility. It actually made it so that we had no chance to win the game by that full paralysis. And yeah, I mean, that 25% chance definitely doesn't feel like it's 25%. At least not in my favor. But hey, what will you do? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. So sorry for that second loss, but there's nothing I could have done to avoid it. And I hope you enjoyed that first game, which was really intense. Thank you guys, and I will see you tomorrow in the Spanish video or on Thursday in the English video. And don't forget to leave a like, please. Thank you guys, and